Hello everyone, welcome to your next CSS tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to, as you can observe, I've cleared everything inside my body div and my body tag, and what I just have is body. We can just give this an ID of grad. We want to create gradients. Sometimes people want to create a background on their website. They start going to copy images that CSS would normally be able to do. I'll refresh this, and I've cleared up my CSS page. So when I refresh this guy should disappear, and it's gone. So we'll try and create a background that we can call, we can just say first of all that our div should be of width 200 pixels. Oops, 200 pixels, and height of height of 200 pixels, then width of 400. We just want to make a long box. Then of course we'll do a border just so we can see our border of about black. Okay, so let's give it a background of light green and see. I'll refresh. Oops. Okay, so this is supposed to be height, and I want to expand this to 500 and refresh. Alright, a background of light green. Let's confirm. Oops. Green. Okay, we'll do something very cool. We'll make this a gradient, for instance. Alright, just know that this box, if you wanted it to reach the extreme, you can just come here and make sure that this width is 100%. 100. Alright, that being settled, we will do a gradient for this guy. There's something called gradient in CSS, and let's just say every div that has grad, remember this guy, it has grad, then there's nothing to memorize there. Each browser has a specific way you can indicate gradient in it, add gradient to it. So there's nothing to memorize. You just Google it. If you want to add gradient to your site, you just say, hey, ask Google for how to add gradient in CSS3 or CSS. Alright, so I'll just paste this. I copied this from the internet and I pasted it. So what you can observe here is that it sets the initial background to red, which here we set it to green. So we can just delete this. So the initial background is red for browsers that don't support gradients. Then this is for Safari, as you can see, Apple. The way to support gradient is this -WebKit linear gradient. Then it should start with red and end with yellow. Then for Opera starts with O. It should start with red and end with yellow, and Mozilla, and this is for others. Okay, this is the standard syntax. All of them should be able to recognize this, but due to some, as you can see, there are some browser versions. There are some older browser versions that has different ones, but if you have only this, it should suffice. Okay, but sometimes you just need to mention all these guys to cater for the older browsers. Most of your users might be using older browsers. So this being settled, we can come here and refresh. What do you have? From red to yellow. Okay, this is one way to make all those fancy buttons. This may not look cool, but if we had black to white, you would marvel at what will come up with. Black to white, you will marvel. This is black to white. You can also have gray. Instead of just having a color there, we could select a color, something dark like this to something a little lighter, not too white, something a little lighter. And we save, refresh. So cool, what do you think? We could keep adjusting till we get a very cool color, something like this to something lighter, a little lighter. So refresh. Alright, so depending on what you're trying to design, the gradient works out pretty well. That's how to do gradient. Let's see if we can do one or two more cool features with gradient. Alright, another thing we can do is a multiple colored gradient. I'm going to just replace the whole of this guy with this guy. So this is multiple colored gradient. So we now have 3 colors, which means red at the top, yellow in the middle, and green at the bottom. And remember that this is the general one that all browsers, all new browsers recognize. Then these ones are for the older versions of each browser. Alright, so even without this, if your browser is up to date, it will still work perfectly. Alright, so we'll refresh, and as you can see, from red to yellow to green. So, but then it's safe to have this in case your users are using some other browser. Alright, so let's see if we can do one more thing before we round up. Let us see if we can do radial gradients, the circular ones. Alright, so remember that this guy is linear, this guy is linear, so we'll replace it with radial. Radial. Apart from that, I will just copy and paste. Let's see if this works. We have radial, and I'll refresh. As you can see, we have circle in the middle, and at the extreme. You can alternate these colors to show what you want, or to reflect the exact color you want in your design. But I use these sharp colors to show you how it really works. The other things we can do with radial, we can repeat it so it goes out. We can paste. This is repeating radial. Okay, so we save, and when we save, we refresh. So we have repeating. So this looks like the solar system and the sun in the middle. So whatever it is, just it's so easy to do. So just Google it, copy the code. Then the main assignment is to change your colors correctly. Alright, so see you in the next tutorial. My name is Dave Partner, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so when I make very nice tutorials, you will get them. And also sign up on my site, that is brainterm.org. If you have any question, leave them in the comments or where it is on my site. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.